Yo, book nerds. I had said in a previous video that I didn't know when I would get to this book review, but I finished this book before my baby arrived, so here it is. I finished reading A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and this was just so much fun. It was light, it was easy, and it really didn't take any brain power of mine, which I needed. I needed something light and easy and fun. It was different than the movie version that I have seen. I've seen the Shirley Temple adaptation, and I love the Shirley Temple adaptation. So I was kind of disappointed that they're different from each other, but I still love both of them. I loved the book. I still love my Shirley Temple movie. I can't help it, even though they changed it. It's Shirley Temple. I have to still love it. So basically this book is about Sarah Crewe. She grew up in India with her dad, but they are English. Her dad is a military man, and Sarah is now going back to London to go to school, to a boarding school, and so she will be away from her dad. And while she is at this school, her dad passes away, and her dad actually loses their fortune, so she becomes a beggar. She is poor, and so she goes from being this high-class student at this boarding school to a servant girl. Basically, this is a fairy tale. This is a Cinderella story, and it's just beautifully written. And I highly recommend it if you're looking for something light or if you want something to read with your kids. This is a children's classic, so this is a good place to start if you're new to classics, because it's just such an easy read and the story is not super complex. So I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilers now, so you have been warned. I definitely understand why the Shirley Temple movie changed what they did, because the Shirley Temple movie makes it much more realistic. It's still a fairy tale story, but it is a lot more likely to happen than what happens in the actual book. So in the book, a man moves in next door to this school, and this man is actually looking for Sarah, but he doesn't know Sarah is right next door. He thinks Sarah is in Paris or Russia. And so he just coincidentally moved in next door, and he just coincidentally also has her lost fortune for her and doesn't know that she's right next door. So like, that doesn't happen in the Shirley Temple version of this, because it's just too fantastical. It's a fairy tale. But even though it is very unrealistic, it was still enjoyable to read, because as the reader, you know more than Sarah does, and you know more than the gentleman next door does. And so watching them kind of like miss each other a lot and not realize who the other one is a little, it's a little entertaining. I enjoyed this book. If you're looking for something that's just light and easy and Cinderella-esque, then I definitely recommend A Little Princess. Let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it, and we can chat in the comments. I have started a new book. This was not what I had planned to read next. I don't typically count books that I'm reading for school, because most of the books that I'm reading for school are very technical. They're textbooks, so I'm not counting those towards my reading goals, because I'm not usually reading an entire textbook. I'm just reading chunks, and it's just not very entertaining for you, I think, if I talk about textbooks on here. So I don't usually count my school reading towards my goals for the year. I am making an exception right now. Because for school, we are diving into Shakespeare right now, and I have to read Macbeth. I have read Macbeth before, but it has been like 6 years. So I don't remember a whole lot of it. I remember just the basics. And I had actually wanted to reread this in the near future anyway. I have 2 Shakespeare plays that I wanted to reread soon. Macbeth is one of them. A Midsummer Night's Dream is the other one that I would like to reread in the near future. So since I was already planning a reread for this, and now I'm reading it for school, I'm going to count it towards my goals for the year, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it. I am currently on Act 1, Scene 7. It's a 5-act play, and I love these Folger editions that they have. They're wonderful. They have great notes and great articles in them. So I am looking forward to continuing to reread this. There's already so much I want to talk about, so watch for a future video about Macbeth. So that is all for me today. I know that this is a shorter video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys next Monday. Hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for talking books with me.